Hi, my name is Wendy, and this is the Shan Studios YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about loving kindness. So we have recently posted a loving kindness practice, and I just thought I'd come on here to give a little bit of background and explanation about why we do this practice, its origins, and so on. So loving kindness, unlike what the name might suggest, isn't necessarily about love or kindness as we understand it. Loving kindness is more like bringing about a sense of friendliness or goodwill and benevolence for yourself and for others. So the practice that we do comes from Buddhism, but the general practice of loving kindness has roots as old as the Vedic traditions. So why do we practice loving kindness? Recent research suggests that there are many benefits, some of them including a greater sense of social connection, a greater sense of self-love, stress reduction, and even one short practice of loving kindness can bring about a state of increased gratitude, compassion, and empathy. So a few tips for the loving kindness practice. So with practicing loving kindness, something that's quite important is being able to really feel it in the body. Even though we are finding phrases to repeat, try to find phrases that really make sense to you and resonate with you. If the suggested phrases sound kind of odd or awkward or brings you into your head, you can make your own phrases, sending wishes for health, wishes for happiness, wishes for safety, and also just a general ease in living. So once you find those phrases, it might be 4 if you're starting out and only 1 or 2 really feel true and resonate with you, maybe finding 2. We're going to find the individuals who we're going to send that loving kindness to. Traditionally, you would start with yourself because when the practice was introduced, that was the person who made the most sense and was the easiest to send these feelings towards. But now, there's many people who express difficulty sending loving kindness to themselves first. So if thinking about a friend, a family member, a teacher, or even a pet feels the easiest, you can definitely start with one of those. Bringing that person to mind, grounding into the feelings of goodwill, of friendliness. And when you repeat those phrases, drawing from that well of real lived experience of those emotions. And we move along the line, whether you started with yourself or whether you started with a friend. You're going to move on to the other person you haven't done out of those 2. And then we move to a more neutral individual. And sometimes even trying to find a neutral individual feels difficult. You might think, okay, I see this person sometimes, but I don't really interact with them. They're neutral. And as soon as you bring them to mind, you might think, oh, but there was that one time when they did something and I was kind of unhappy with that, or oh, there was that one time where they did something super nice to me and now I feel very positively about them. Knowing that that's okay. Finding someone who is around neutral and noticing these kind of judgments and associations. Worthiness, deserving, and once again trying to tune into the most basic sense of goodwill and inviting that feeling towards that individual beyond all of these conditions. And then we move on to an individual who might be challenging to send these feelings to. So when you're practicing, this doesn't need to be your arch nemesis, someone who you feel absolutely terrible towards. Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, choosing someone who's around the challenging level of 3 or 4. So someone who you might not understand too much, but don't harbor so many negative feelings towards. And here you might also notice those conditions coming up. Why do I want to send feelings of goodwill towards this person? I don't even like them. Why am I doing this? This feels really tight or really difficult. And knowing that's normal, just like you might find difficulty holding a plank or difficulty running a mile when you first start, loving kindness practice is no different. Learning to tune into those emotions of goodwill and benevolence when there's some resistance can be a really useful thing to practice. So being with those feelings, acknowledging resistance and acknowledging difficulty, and seeing if you can again and again tune into those feelings, that well of friendliness, well of positive emotions for this individual, even if you might not see eye to eye all the time. So I hope you give loving kindness practice a try, and you won't really feel the benefits of the practice until you try it for yourself. I hope these explanations were clear, and if you still have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please give us a like, and if you enjoy content like this, please give Shan Studios a subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.